Why are you doing this in the middle of the review? What's going on, everybody? Caleb back with reviews. Like a sir. As you can see, Sarah is trying to get in the Halloween spirit this holiday season, but that's not what we're here for. Today, we are here for the VooPoo Drag 2 kit with the Uforce T2 tank. Now, I'll show you some stuff when we go down below, but let's start with some vapor production. Pretty sure this is a 0.2 coil. Let me see here. I can't remember exactly what it is. Yes, it is a 0.2 ohm coil. It is the M3 or N3 coil. It's a triple mesh, sitting at 85 watts. Let's do this. As you can see, it chucks just a little bit. All right. Showing you some vapor production. Been using this for about 4 days since it came in on Tuesday. So let's dive down and let's flip it. All right, so here's the packaging for the VooPoo Drag V2, or just the Drag 2. It says VooPoo, spark your life. My OCD is kind of going off at the fact that Spark Your Life is not centered, but it is what it is. It's very similar to the original. No, it's not actually similar to the original drag packaging. I remember that it was red, but let's see here. Social media is on the side. On the other side, quick reader code. And on the back, scratch and sniff UPC. They can't see you, Sarah. The color configuration right over top the UPC, and then everything that comes in the box. All right, let's get into it. This is a sleeve, and something that I am happy that they did is, see these? That's how it comes automatically, so it gives you something to grab, so it's not like a vacuum seal. We're doing some spooky stuff here, man, so that was probably one of our little things. I'm just kidding, that was the dogs. Sorry about the noise, guys. Okay, little pamphlets. First thing you're gonna be presented with, what comes inside is tank manual for the Uforce T2, the Drag 2 user manual, and then your warranty card. Not gonna be needing anything like that. I've had this for about 4 days now, so I've been over just about everything in the menu. All right, inside this little wrapper, obviously, is your Drag 2. We'll go over the mod in just a second. I just wanted to give y'all a quick look. All right. Inside the rest of the packaging comes all your other goodies. Cable for charging and upgrading the firmware. Silica gel packet to keep the moisture out. This little package down here actually comes with the coil we have installed in the tank right now. Has that in there. We'll go over that in just a sec. Extra piece of spare glass. And then your Uforce T2 tank. Now that we've gotten all the packaging and stuff out of the way, we don't need that in the shot. All right, comes with a drip tip that matches the Drag 2 mod. Triple adjustable airflow. Everything's gonna be the same on all 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. Slightly protruding 510, but I wouldn't use it on any mechanical mods or hybrid top caps. And the only piece of branding on here really is I think that Uforce right there. That Uforce also has an arrow over top of it for your top fill. Easy top fill. Slides back and forth. And yeah, bubble glass pre-installed. I actually have the triple mesh coil installed in here right now. Been using that and trying it out. The other coil is actually a single Canthal coil. So I didn't really want to use that, but it is a single or might be a double. Might be a double wrap of Kanthal in there. Didn't really want to use it, so I'm using the triple mesh in here. And we'll go over some fun facts about these coils here in a minute. I just wanted to show you the overall look. Now, I'm gonna compare this real quick and then you'll see why in just a sec. What was the point in making this a shiny polished gunmetal when the Drag 2 itself is just, for the most part, a matte black? I can't really figure out why they would do that, but we'll go over it in just a second. Okay, let's go over the outside of this. Some of the main differences are this cutout right here used to be up in the middle, and they'd have one on both sides. They did not have these cutouts along edges on the original. There's the bottom with your little warning and battery venting down here. Your 510, we'll go over that in just a minute. Drag, so like see, these are where the cutouts used to be, and now on the resin side they've changed it to be down here, which I actually think was a good choice, but I wish if they had done it, they would have done it on both sides, but it is what it is. Buttons are almost identical to the original. Nice and clicky. And then micro USB cable for micro USB port for charging. They have these little cutouts along the sides, so your finger can go like that, fire like that, or thumb can go there and you can trigger fire like that. It's really comfortable. It is slightly more rounded than the original, and it'll hold, I'm fairly certain, up to a 25 or 26, which is far superior to what the original Drag could hold. Raised 510, we'll go over that when we go back up top about why that irks me. So let's pop some batteries in here. Battery tray is nice and clean. It says Just Drag gene chip inside, and then it has positive and negative indicators. Still think that they should color those, but I'm not going to complain because they are extremely obvious. All right, little ribbon that says VooPoo. And it says VooPoo, Drag, and then we'll get back to your main screen. All right. So first thing we're going to go over after putting the batteries in before we get to the screen. Can y'all hear that? If it was a minor issue with the door rattling around, I would say that it can be fixed, but you can feel it in your hand while you're moving it around. So that's gonna end up being a con. I found it while I was using it. I didn't, like, it was just kind of like one of those things where I was fiddling with it and I was like, wait, it moves, it makes noise. We'll go over how I think they could have fixed that up top, but let's go over the menu. All right, so you hold the up in the fire button at the same time to lock it, up and fire button to unlock it. Hold the up and the down button to flip it. This is actually how it's going to come because it is a right-handed fire like this. So you can see the screen like that. So that's how it's going to come. If you do want to hold it right-handed, your finger's going to go here and it's going to be a thumb fire, which is very, very comfortable. But if you're left-handed, you either have to hold it like this with trigger fire and thumb up here, or you can flip the screen around, hold it like this. But then it's not gonna be, I mean, it kinda is facing the right direction, but I always like it to be facing inward, if that makes sense, whenever I'm using my devices. So, okay, that's your main screen. Double battery gauge, ohms, volts, number of seconds per hit, and your wattage. So you're gonna press this 3 times and that'll take you into fit mode. There we go. Okay, so what I have found about fit mode, and I'll show you this when we go back up top. Fit mode 1 is like an extreme battery saver. Fit mode 2 is like middle range. And fit mode 3 is supposed to be cloud chasing mode. So what this does is, you know how there's soft, normal, and hard presets, preheat boost sets for a lot of devices? That's like if you took the soft, normal, and hard for all of the, or whatever those wattages were for the preheats, and you had it run the device at, it basically ran that way the entire time. So we'll go over that when we go up top so I can actually show you what that does. But to switch between these, you press the up button and it just cycles through. To go back to normal wattage mode, click the button 3 times, or click the fire button 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And it'll take you into your temperature stuff. Click on it, and then 1, 2, 3. Takes you back to wattage. To get into your menu settings, hold the up and the fire button. Wattage, it does not change to volts, sadly. I do like the voltage mode. M1 through 5, and then the serial number on your chip. And then this is the version. So go back into wattage mode, and we will go over this up top. All right, we are back up top with the Drag 2 kit by VooPoo.
It's quite spoopy.
It's quite spoopy. No, we weren't allowed to pick our color configuration for this review, but it just so happens that I got the exact one that I wanted. So let's get down to brass tacks. Let's go over the pros and cons. Let's start with, what do you want to start with? Pros, cons?
Pros.
Start with the pros. It is still the Gene chip. It's the Gene Fit chip because of that fit mode that they've got, but it is still the Gene chip. Let's see if you can hear that. As soon as I hit that fire button. Oop, I put it in fit mode back, so we'll go over fit mode in just a second. I'll show y'all how it works. But yeah, it still fires just like the drag. I think it actually fires a little bit faster than the drag. So that is pro number 1. Pro number 2 is with no overhang, it can fit 25s and 26s if I am not mistaken. I know it will fit 25s, but I think that this tank is a 26. I'm not sure. It fits my drop, which is a 24 with at least 1 millimeter of space, so it should fit just fine with 26. Pro number 3, I love the ergonomics of this mod. They took the best parts of the drag and they contoured them, if that makes any sort of sense. They kind of contoured it a little bit better to the hand, and it just feels super solid. And the bevels on this thing, pinky goes there, thumb goes there. If you're trigger firing, it just works. Or if you're doing thumb fire like this, your fingers fit all on there, and then your index finger goes right here, and it just fits. It's comfortable in the hand. It is comfortable as fuck in the hand. You wouldn't think a few curves would make a big difference, but it really does. Honestly, pro number 4 is the fit mode. Now, I know it's a little gimmicky when I said that it hits in soft, normal, and hard mode, like what those presets are, but hear me out. So this is fit mode number 1. Doesn't tell you what wattage it's at, but this is an extreme battery saver. So you saw the vapor production 85 watts. Let's see what fit mode 1 does. Still decent vapor production, but it saves you on battery quite a bit. Let's go to fit mode 2. This should be relatively normal. So this is probably gonna be the minimal rating for your coil. So this would be about 65 watts. There you go. A little bit more vapor production, a little bit more of a hit. Let's go to fit mode 3. This will be like the hard mode. I think this is upward of like 80 watts on this coil, so I know it's a little gimmicky, and I promise you I was really skeptical going into it, but after using fit modes for the past couple of days, it really does save on battery life. Like if I have 1 bar on here, and I'm going to use it in fit mode 1 for the rest of the review, okay? I'm going to use it in fit mode 1 on the rest of the review, and it will not die. It's just, it's gimmicky as hell, but it works, and I'm gonna count it as a pro. Pro number 5, yes, because that was pro number 4. Pro number 5, honestly, this is also a little gimmicky, but I think it's super safe. You know how your devices can charge through the micro USB port, but while using it, it strains the batteries and the chip overall, and your mod might get a little bit hot? This mod will not fire while you are charging through the USB port. It shuts it down, it shows you how much it's charging, but it will not fire while you're using that micro USB port. And I am going to count that as a huge plus on safety. It is just, I'm not sure why most mods don't do it. Most of them should. It's a huge pro in the safety category for me. Now, let's get down to the cons, because there are quite a few. Con number 1, that door. You heard it. You can probably hear it on here. It rattles back and forth. You could probably take the ribbon out and it wouldn't be as bad, but I don't know why they didn't just fix it from the get-go. You know how the drag had a door that was recessed in and it didn't move about at all? Like this even moves up and down. Well, they could have done the same thing. They could have taken these bezels that they've added. They could have made those go all the way around, and then they could have made the door just sink in. It would have worked the exact same. It wouldn't have gotten in the way of any patterns or anything like that. And I think that they just missed the mark on that by a huge margin. So that's con number one. Con number two, and this is subjective, but I'm going to count it because it irritates the living fuck out of me. The 510 is raised. You can see daylight under your device. Now, a lot of people don't see it as a con because it keeps juice from directly getting onto your mod. But here's the thing. There are a lot of flush mount 510s. I think the original drag was flush, and there was no issues with scratching. We still have less scratches on the top of our drag today than we did on any other device, and there's no reason that the 510 needed to be raised. There really wasn't. I hate seeing air under my devices. It just is annoying. I would rather it be flush, and yeah, it just irritates me. So that's con number two. Con number three, why the fuck did they not make the tank the same color as the mod? I get it, it's for more than just this, but this is a kit. They are shipping it out as a kit. They could have at least made it like an actual black. This is gunmetal. They could have at least made it a black so that it was not...
It's a little spoopy, man.
It's a little spoopy, man. No, they could have at least made it black so that it matched the mod to some degree, but this does just not match. It doesn't. You can tell it, you see it, it's annoying to the eyes. Hey. It's annoying to the eyes, it's unpleasing. Now, the tank, however, is actually quite good. The mesh coil is good. I'm not sure how the Kanthal coil is going, but Sarah can actually tell you how the Kanthal coil is going because these coils are interchangeable with the mesh tank by Fireloop?
It's the Fireloop.
No, it's Freemax.
mesh.
It's Freemax
It's a
Fireloop mesh.
Yeah.
They are interchangeable
It's
with
nasty.
those coils. So if you don't like the coils that come in this kit, you can actually use the Freemax Fireloop coils. So yeah, if you don't like the coils that come in here, which the mesh coil is fairly good, you can use other coils. There are interchangeability with this. So this is kind of a fourth con, but it's not really, because if you're careful, you're fine. The top fill is a little loose, and you can count that as a con, you cannot. I personally don't care about it, but it might be a con to some people. So, all the cons, all the pros being weighed, I'm gonna give this 7.5 as a kit. I wish that they had done just a few things differently, and this would have been the perfected version of the drag. It would have been so much better had they just done a few things. That being said, it is not a bad kit at all. This is probably going to be my daily mod for quite a while. It's lighter than the drag, which was one of my problems with the first one. It is more ergonomically friendly. It feels good in the hand. I like this kit, but I can't give it a better rating because there's a few cons and I can't overlook them. So that has been the review on the Drag 2 by VooPoo. We'll see you guys next time on reviews. Like a sir. Keep it spoopy, guys.
Spoopy, man.
See you next time.